Alright, what is going on, guys? Okay, so today we are talking about rest, and not a physical rest, but like a spiritual rest. In the Bible it says, that, you know, Jesus came. Well, hold on, sorry. In the Bible it says that, all those who are weary, who are heavy laden, come to me and I will give you rest. Those were Jesus' words. And basically, this is something that, I've had to kind of come back into. I've had to kind of relearn. I'm still learning how to rest and what that looks like. And really, it's all about resting in the identity of who Christ is, resting in what He has done for us, and who you are supposed to be in the midst of all that. And most importantly, it's all about why He did it, because that's something that's always looked over. Why did He hang up on the cross and die and rise again in 3 days? It wasn't so He could prove that He was God. It wasn't so He could prove that He had power, that He could do these things, because obviously He could. He was the Word made flesh. He did it because He loved us, and He wanted to reconcile us back to the Father and restore us back to the garden where we were before the fall of man. And so He wanted to restore us back to our original identity. So that is what we have to rest in, because, especially just speaking my own experience, but just with anyone who calls themselves a Christian, in this world we are around people who don't believe that, who don't look at that as something that is of value. And we have to show them otherwise, and we have to be secure in who we are. We have to be secure in ourselves, in our identity, in what Christ has done for us and why He's done it for us. And we cannot be shaken by the things of this world. We cannot compromise. We cannot have any room for failure, I guess. And I'm not saying that we have to be perfect, because we're going to make mistakes, but there needs to be a point where we can stand our ground, stand firm in our convictions, and know that we can't be shaken by the things of this world. We cannot be in a place where we can compromise. And so, with all things that I've been called to, like I've been called into the entertainment industry, I've been called into mainstream media, I want to make a film, and I want to do all these things that I've talked about before. But if I am not strongly rooted in who He is and secure in that, and then those things are not going to happen. And I have to be in a place where, if they don't happen the way I think they should, or when I think they should, I should not be in a place where I'm going to fall back into sin, or I'm going to stumble and fall or go back to stuff because I didn't get my own way. And that's been happening a lot. And that even happened today. It's been happening yesterday, happened the day before. It's been happening a lot, and it's been happening more recent, more frequent. And being in this place of rest is really just cleaning me out, so I can be who God's called me to be out in the world, and I won't be another statistic, because there are all these ministers and pastors and preachers who had amazing ministries, but they fell because of their own pride, their own sin that they weren't dealing with, and because they were not resting in who He is. They were not resting in His identity. And you cannot be up in these streets acting crazy and then try to have ministry, because you are exalting yourself. You're not exalting Him. And there are a lot of those pastors, those ministers who have all these ministries who have fallen because they exalted themselves and they did not give the glory back to God like they were supposed to. And they didn't deal with their own junk like they were supposed to. And I'm not going to be one of them, and He's going to make sure I'm not going to be one of them. So, yeah, but it's really hard, because, like, growing up, I always made my identity in what I do, and it was never about who I am as a person. you know, if these things did not come to fruition, if something were to happen and there was no more entertainment industry, like, who would I be outside of that? You know what I mean? So I have to be in a place where, if worst case scenario, if that would happen, which it wouldn't happen, but if that were to happen, I should be okay with saying, okay, what's next? And not have a temper tantrum or fall apart because I place my identity in what I do. And there are a lot of people around me who placed my identity in what I did and not in who I am. So there's that. I hope you enjoyed this, and just remember that you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at AidenXJeffrey. And remember that you are made on purpose and for a purpose. And as long as you walk with fiery passion and perfect peace, there's nothing you can't do. There's no mountain that you cannot move. So until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Bye, guys.